Hey there, welcome to Why You Should Care 2017 Tax Bill Edition. Anywhere you slice it, the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017 is a turd. It is true that under this bill, most citizens initially get a small tax cut. But starting in 2021, people making under $75,000 will see those cuts expire and their tax bill increase. This bill is going to give you higher taxes. For the corporations and the ultra-rich, those tax cuts don't expire. And to help you care a little bit more, I think we need a bit of background. According to the IRS, in 1961, the bottom 90% of Americans paid 9.6 cents on the dollar in taxes. In 2013, we paid 7.6 cents on the dollar. Pretty sweet, right? 2-cent decrease. Compare that to 1961, the top 10% paid 42 cents on the dollar. In 2013, they paid 22.9 cents on the dollar. And you might be like, well, that's chill. They probably make a lot of money, so taking less of it proportionally is okay. But think of it like this. Imagine this Trader Joe's frosted maple sugar shredded bite-sized mini wheat, late capitalism, is your tax cut. Pretty snazzy, right? Fibrous, filling, frosted. Well, sure. But the ultra-rich, meaning not you, have received 28,000 Trader Joe's frosted maple shredded bite-sized wheats. There's not even enough in this box. I don't think there's 28,000. We have to make a Trader Joe's run. In money, not mini wheats, that's equivalent to your tax cut being $5,500 and the tax cut for the top 400 earners being, I don't even know what the number is, 6 zeros, million, $154 million. And if those numbers haven't provoked your sense of being ripped the fuck off, let me explain it in pictures. After America recovered from World War II, most Americans looked like this sheep. Sheeple, if you will. But by the 1980s, they look kind of like this. If these tax cuts pass, most of America is going to start looking like this. Because Paul Ryan, the GOP, and their raging oligarchical hard-on will have fleeced all of us to the point that we're no longer sheeple, but a sort of Mexican hairless dog hybrid fighting at the leftover scraps of the tax code. But listen, to be fair, perhaps you're an old-school fiscal conservative who's around way before your party was taken over by idiots and pedophiles. This enema of a tax bill will add 1.5 trillion with a T, to America's debt over a decade, on top of the 10 trillion that's already been forecast. And to remind you, America's deficit is at the highest of any time in history other than immediately after World War II, which means slower wage growth and economic stagnation for us, which means it's hard for you to make money. There is literally no good reason to support this bill unless you're ultra-rich. And maybe some of you are saying, well, Karina, I might one day become ultra-rich. Listen, I think that too. I want to be ultra-rich. I want to drink wine that's not from Trader Joe's. But listen, most studies say upward mobility in America has stagnated or decreased. I literally went out and found out the most conservative study, which says that the rate of upward mobility is unchanged. But because the top 10% has stratified itself to such an extent, it becomes less and less likely you'll ever get there, because now the 90% is a lower starting point than it was 50 years ago. You dig? The moral of the story is that this tax bill is for corporations, the 400 richest people in America, and not for you. It blows up the deficit, gets rid of popular tax cuts, makes the tax code more complicated, and further stratifies class disparities in America, which in essence makes it harder for you to get rich. That is why you should care. And remember, kids, the only thing that trickles down is piss and shit. Oh, there's a long one in here. Yeah, it's two. 2 for 1. It's like I'm rich.